Welcome back. Welcome back again. Can you hear me now?
Really nice. Well, see, this to work. I've used another part in the house. I'm really sorry about that.
Okay. Is it good?
Can you hear me okay?
Also,
Yeah.
so, yeah, everything is good.
Right.
So the question is, well, tell me, what was it like growing up with a hearing loss? Because I know you have a cochlear implant just like me.
So, I only had my cochlear implant in December 2022. So, I lost my hearing when I was around 4 years old. I had mumps. And it was quite a gradual loss. But the more I got older, the worse it got. And it was really hard. I went to a normal school, so there was no other children in my school with hearing loss. And so I went to all like from the age of 5 years old till I was probably about 9 years old. They didn't really know I had hearing loss. It wasn't until I had my tonsils out when I was 9 and how severe it was. So I didn't get set up with my first hearing aid till I was just about to go to high school. So all that time I've missed out and it had affected my speech. So yeah, it was really a shock.
Yeah. So you say you got your first hearing aid when you was, repeat that again? Yeah, you say you got your first hearing aid. At what age did you get your first hearing aid?
I'm trying to remember. The some of my family have different days. It was round that's 9, 10, something like that. So over here, we go up to high school at around about 11 years old. So I remember having a tonsil there, getting lots of ears, and I was meant to have something called chronic, where they put something in the ear to relieve some of the pressure. And the surgeon said to my mum, can't have that done. She's got severe hearing loss and something like the months are still present. So he said, have you ever noticed you can't hear properly? And she went, well, yeah, there's lots of things. And I think looking back, she realised I was really behind at school. I was, really struggling with my mental health. People would say hello to me and I'd ignore them because I couldn't hear. And I was often told off and punished for being ignorant. And all along that time, I was deaf. So I remember going to high school. I've not had the hearing aids quite long. But even then, they were massive, really massive ones. And I was so conscious of them. And it was very hard. I used to have this lady come in. She used to do speech therapy with me. And there wasn't much support at all. So it was a really difficult time. Yeah.
Wow. What was your mind going through when you was having this hearing loss? You was behind school, and you have your own struggles. What was going through your mind? And if you could,
through my mind.
Yeah.
There's that feeling like I didn't belong. I didn't really know who I was, and I wasn't just navigating hearing loss. Home was very hard for me, and I ended up going into foster care. So I was navigating hearing loss, really tough things, and going into foster care. It was just an awful lot. I went through some very dark places when I was younger, which is one of the reasons I've become a therapist today. But yeah, it was really hard. And I think as well, I recently spoke about this in my TED Talk. I always felt like I had one foot in the hearing world, one foot out. I didn't fully understand what was going on with me. And I didn't feel like my voice was listened to. Nobody had answers. I didn't know if it could be cured. I felt broken. And I think one thing is really important for any young person or adult who has hearing loss is therapy, coaching, building self-esteem, discovering who you are, your identity. I never had any of that. So I think I was really really struggled my identity. I was quite like a bit of a follower as well. I didn't have my own kind of character. You sound that we can relate.
Yeah, I can relate that too. We all can relate that too because we're living in two different worlds. We're living in the hearing world, we're living in the deaf world, and we're trying to figure out what world we belong in. Or sometimes we go in two different worlds and we're feeling lost. But what you said is knowing your identity, knowing your self-worth, knowing your self-awareness. Once you understand yourself and understand who you are, you won't get lost. You won't follow the crowd. You will just know your dreams, your aspirations. You know who you are. You can't let anyone take that away from you, and that's the most important part. But I want you. Once you felt lost and you just felt broken, what shifted your mindset to I'm not gonna let this hearing loss stop me from growing, elevating, and thriving to who you are today. I think you're a therapist, a TED Talk, and a counselor, if I'm correct.
Well, I do quite a lot of things, so obviously.
Okay, tell me.
So, I've had kind of like so many different careers. As somebody who is deaf, it's very, very hard to kind of like support in the workplace and feel like you belong and you're supported. So I used to work in the hospitals in medical. I did some of my therapy training back then. I would say probably 2015. And obviously, my husband, he's a martial artist, and we have a chain of martial arts schools, which we've had since 2009. We've got 3 schools, and my husband oversees my day-to-day things. I used to teach quite a lot. I used to teach the ladies 16, and especially young people as well, which I absolutely love. And I developed a passion for blending therapy, traditional therapy, with martial arts therapy, Eastern wisdom, Japanese philosophy. And I found that for myself very healing. Obviously, I had my first child at 17. She's now 25. So growing up, I feel, even when I was in my 20s, I still didn't know who I was. I was still struggling. Every year that went by, my hearing got worse and worse. And I think things started really shifting me round about just before COVID. And I was back to the point where my hearing aids no longer work. Can you hear me okay? So, yeah. My hearing aids no longer work for me. For hearing aids to work, you've got to have a little bit of sound to amplify. And then the mask come in, and I couldn't lip read. It was just such a difficult time. And I felt like that little bit of independence I still had left was gone. My family were having to make phone calls for me. And I think we had a lot of time back then to do different things. We had to close our martial arts schools. And I just really took a massive deep dive into self-awareness, reading. I got myself a coach to have some therapy myself. I really kind of began that journey discovering who I was. And I really am interested in shadow work, and that's where that term unapologetic self comes from. I really kind of explored all those parts of me, the things that I thought were broken, like my hearing loss, my trauma, even being ashamed of being in foster care. All those things were stopping me from fully showing up as my true self. And I think I'm still doing it. When you self-awareness and self-discovery, there's no end date. You keep unlocking different levels of yourself. So I think the journey really started for me just before COVID and still ongoing. But when I had I think it wasn't until I had my cochlear implant surgery, which was December 2022, and the company that manufactured my implant was on Sonic. And they have a program where they people train up as mentors to mentor other people who are going through this process. So I became a mentor 6 months after my surgery. And I remember going to an event where I met all the other mentors. And that's the first time I was with people who had implants, who were deaf, and I felt like I still belonged.
Wow.
Yeah.
I want to go back, the part of where your journey was, like, the part was shifting your mindset. Was the martial arts that you said that shifted your mindset? Is like martial arts. When I think of martial arts, correct me if I'm wrong, it's like fighting. It's like karate or something.
Yeah, but mainly kickboxing. We do kickboxing, sport, karate, a bit of Muay Thai. Okay. Yeah. Okay, so that. Yeah. I felt like all these, you felt broken, you felt lost, and this fire inside of you that is telling you, I don't want to quit, I don't want to give up. I need something like an outlet. So that martial arts was an outlet for you to fight through all the barriers, all the people who's telling you that you cannot succeed, you will fail, but that outlet was a martial arts for you to, no, I'm not going to give up. Was that an outlet for you? It absolutely was. I think martial arts has been very healing for me, especially with trauma. And I went through a period in my life where I suffered some domestic violence. So martial arts for me was about learning to protect myself, proving to myself as a deaf person that I can do this, because it was hard learning training for my black belt. Because of certain things to be do, and I had to train differently to others. But it was very healing, very empowering for me. And it's nice about it. Constantly challenge yourself. Wow. Because you were in foster care, feeling lost, feeling broken, dealing with hair loss. But here you now today, you're helping other people going through a similar situation, and you should be proud of yourself that sometimes in disability there's a stigma around disability, but it's a superpower, it's a gift. It's all about what you do with it. It goes for two ways. You can either let it define you or destroy you, or you could use it as something. And what you did right there, you use it as a gift to contribute, use it as a purpose to help people who's going through adversity, struggles, and who feel lost, who don't know their identity. And you should be proud of yourself. I just want to applaud you and give you your flowers. Oh, thank you. Yeah. Thank you. But the next thing I want to talk about is you talk about self identity. Can you talk about that? Because I know you have a coaching program which all talk about identity, self-awareness, knowing yourself. So how did you, I want to start from, how did you, actually, let me go back. So the martial arts was an outlet for you to fight through all the barriers. So what was it helping you embrace your identity, or there was another way that was helping you embracing who you are? I think there was several key moments that really helped me embrace my identity. The martial arts, like you say, doing that self-development work. I got myself a coach, and I remember one thing the coach said to me: "You're hiding parts of yourself, like you're ashamed of." The main ones were my disability, and I think not really knowing where I kind of, like we said earlier, one foot in the deaf world, one foot out. It wasn't until I really kind of mapped things out, parts of myself I was trying to hide, hold myself back. Identity is about, identity means different things to everybody, but to me, it means every single part of you, your values, your beliefs, your shadow self, and your shadow self is all the parts of you that you're ashamed of, that you deem unworthy. Fully embracing your identity and loving your whole self is connecting with shadow self. Mistakes you've made. Even my hearing loss used to be my shadow self. When I fully embraced that, I really began to really feel at peace, accept who I was. It even started changing my hair how I'd always wanted it, or showing off my hearing devices, decorating them with stickers, wearing a bright coloured lipstick. It's letting go of conditioning, because we are growing up, everybody. We are conditioned by parents, schools. We are told to be something that we're not. And fully embracing your identity means coming back to yourself, discovering who you are beneath all that conditioning before the world tells you how you should be showing up. And it's taking up space. Take up that space. You deserve to take up space.
Wow, what you said there was very, very true. You know, we live in a world is full of labels, full of like fit in the box description, tell who you should be, what should you do, and I believe that you should not let anybody put you in a box. You should define who you are and what you want to become. I really love that. And do you have any advice for someone who's trying to own identity and be unapologetic to themselves? Any advice on that?
So, yeah, absolutely. I think spend time with yourself, away from the noise, away from people. Spend time with yourself. Sit and, ask yourself, are my beliefs my own? Are my values my own? Who am I at my core? Do I even want to be in this job? Am I just performing for others? Everything I do every day, do I want to do it? Am I putting good boundaries in place with people? Am I saying yes just because I want to please others, or am I being true to myself? I think when you start asking those questions, you start looking, the view changes. You start thinking differently. I think it just starts simply by asking yourself those questions. I think I work with, so for the past 2 years, I've been school counselor full-time in a high school. I love it. I work with a lot of young people. I don't just do counselling, I run workshops, coach, and lots of different things. And when I talk to young people, I need to address young people. Tell me everything that I think's wrong with them. Tell me I am this, I've got anger issues. Then when I say, it's really, it's yours, or is that what someone told you to say? Function, and when you start to explore, it's what a parent says to them, or it's what a friend says to them, and these labels, and it's kind of like, how can I explain it? I start losing sight of who they are. I think the biggest gift you can give a young person is sitting with them at the dinner table, having a conversation about, who are you? Your beliefs, your values, having those conversations with young people early on, because self-awareness is a superpower, and it's the biggest gift you can give a child.
Yes. I believe what you said is true. Like self-awareness. This is all comes down to self-discovery.
Yeah.
It all starts with you and with the journal. Taking at least 5 to 10 minutes a day journaling, like asking hard questions. You have to be truthful and honest. It's like you're looking at yourself in the mirror and asking deep questions. And it all starts with identity. If you feel lost, you have to go back to your identity, because identity, it plays a huge role in your career, in your careers, in your relationships, in your dreams, your aspiration. All of that comes down to identity. Because once you know your identity, and once you fully embrace it and be unapologetic and embrace who you are and cancel out the noise, you will get everything you want. And you see, and you see what you said about your story is it's very inspiring, and I really applaud you for that. I want to go back to your story, how you was in foster care, you was lost, you was broken, but what you said to me is that you came back to your identity and what you spoke with your therapist, going back to your pieces and feeling ashamed with your disability. Once you embrace that, it starts to get bigger.
Yeah.
Now you're a therapist. Now you're a counselor. Now you're a TED Talk. Now you're sharing your story. Now you're inspiring, and you feel this fulfillment. Now you have a purpose, and it's like, wow, you're inspiring. And
thank you. If I can I just tried to become that person I needed when I was younger. And I think that's the purpose. In my TED Talk, I spoke about something that I really connected and it helped me heal, which is kintsugi. In Japan, they don't throw away items of broken pottery. They repair it with gold, and the gold become the most beautiful part of the piece. And you can look it up. And for me, I do a lot of that work on myself, and I also use it with clients and with young people. And it's a beautiful concept, really, because those cracks for me were my deafness, foster care, lots of things that I probably don't talk about, mistakes. And once you start filling those cracks with gold, they highlight you. They're the most beautiful part of you. And filling your cracks with gold is being honest with yourself, self-love, self-awareness. Even if it's not done, and then take yourself for a little walk, discover who you are. And I think the work on yourself, it's a continuous progress. And I think most people don't like to spend time alone. Why? And I think some people do. I know I do, but I never used to. So many, many years ago, I used to love being around people. But since I've become more self-aware, I enjoy that time sitting with myself, maybe journaling, meditating, discovering who I am, even going to visit a museum or something on my own, book a weekend away on my own. And I think that comes with confidence, because when you start to explore your identity, you watch your confidence level go up as well.
Yeah, I love that. Yeah, I think everyone should spend a time alone. Like, really find your own curiosity. You know what I mean? Like, don't tell anybody this is what success or this is what's supposed to be. Just really find your own curiosity and go out, spend time alone, and discover an adventure and create your own beliefs, create your own success, and create your own embracing your identity. I was telling my people, but I really love that. But I heard you said you was a mom at 17, right?
Yeah.
So what advice, because my podcast is really about motivation and disability, but I want to get somebody out there who may be a mom at 17. So what advice would you give them who's going through struggles, like any type of stuff you can give them?
Yeah. Obviously, when I became a mum at 17, it was hard. I'd come out of foster care and kind of transitioned into kind of like what they call over here semi-independent living, where you've got a little flat and it's got wardens and they just accept that you're ready to live on your own. So it was hard, but we made the most of it. And I think that the advice that I would give is, don't be hard on yourself. You can only do the best you can at the time with that version of you that you are. And I think that one thing, I put a post on Instagram the other day, because I've got a little granddaughter. She is 2, and she plays at 9. I had her last weekend. It was Easter. I did an Easter hunt for her in the garden. And I was thinking, when her mum was that age, I couldn't afford none of that. We used to shop in second-hand shops and just make the most of the little things. And I think that I reflected back and thought to myself, you were really hard on yourself back then. So I think my advice to anyone is you're doing your best. Give yourself some grace. Don't be hard on yourself. And I think, every version of you is going to be proud of you.
Wow. I hope that once I repost that, your content, what you said, I hope it really help somebody out there, whoever is a single mom.
Yeah.
And, don't give up, because definitely Kerry made it, and she did it, and she's thriving. So I hope she's a social proof. I hope that helps. But I want to go back to, so whatever, I don't want to ask you your age, because I know some people don't like their age, but it's okay if you don't want to tell me. But
I don't mind.
Okay. Okay, so you don't mind to ask the audience how old?
How old am I?
Yeah.
So I'm going to be 43 next month.
Okay, 43. Okay, so you're 43 now. So what would you tell yourself, your 18 self? What advice would you tell that young girl, 18? What would you tell?
18. I would say that you're going to become that person that you need right now. And I'm so proud of you. It's going to be hard. There's going to be some really difficult chapters, but you're going to write some beautiful chapters, and you're going to get everything you ever wanted. And you're going to be brave, you're going to be fearless, and one day you're going to do an Instagram live for the first time. And a TED Talk. Yeah. I think I would just say, go easy on yourself, be patient, you're really brave. There's going to be some tough times, but I am so proud of you. I think there was a time where I would be very hard on my past self, but that's all part of self-awareness. That's all part of the journey. So if anybody's going through that right now and you're kicking yourself for a mistake you made 5 years ago or a bad choice or something like that, it's all part of your journey. It's all part of getting you there. And I think there's a lesson in everything. The universe sends us things in different ways, but we're meant to get a message. And until we get that message and the lesson, it will happen. Just be patient.
Yeah. I have to give you applause. I know your young 18 self would be so proud. You got through all the barriers, all the struggles, all the roadblocks, all the people who got on you, and you're doing it. And I want you to keep thriving and keep on pushing. And I really want you, knowing your why, because that is really important. Knowing your why, know your purpose, and I believe that you're going to inspire the next generation of young females. They're going to need somebody to look up to, and you're that outlet for them. So I want you just to keep going on that.
Thank you.
Yeah. A couple questions before we wrap up the show.
Sure. Yeah.
Just give me a second. I have to go back to my notes. Okay.
You see Vanessa's on the line. Hi, Vanessa.
If you have any questions, just drop in the chat, and then she'll answer any questions that you have. So where people can book a call, like if they want to do therapy or anything, need help embracing identity, where can people book your coaching program?
Yeah, so if you, on my Instagram, I have a link in bio, and it's got everything on there. So my coaching program is called Beneath the Goals, and it's about discovering who you are beneath all that conditioning. You can book a free 45-minute call where it will be very relaxed. I call them a cup and a tea and a chat, or a coffee and a chat on Zoom. And there's also a free downloads on there as well, which you can download. I've got a beautiful little download. It's about exploring your identity. It talks a little bit about Kintsugi, and it's a little bit of journaling. And so it's all on the link in bio, and people can download that.
Okay. Make sure, go on the link in the bio, code a free coaching call, because I believe she will help you embrace your identity and discover who you are and what you're meant to do in this world. So she's the expert. She's the expert on that. Yeah. So you I never got you told me that you did a TED Talk. So that was your first time, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That was when we first spoke, wasn't it? Yeah.
Yeah, I thought you said you were going to send me a link, and I was trying to look on YouTube.
Yeah.
But since, so you have your first TED Talk, and this is your first Instagram Live.
Live. Yeah, I will be honest with you. All connected to identity as well is doing those things that you fear, right? Because when you start thinking, right, I'm getting too comfy here, I need to do something to push me out of my comfort zone. That was where coming on this Instagram Live with you and talking on TED. As soon as the TED Talk is up, it will be on my LinkedIn bio. I'm just waiting for them to send it me. But I applied. I didn't think I'd get through. And the title of my talk was How Do You Deaf? And it's basically very similar to what we've been talking about tonight, letting go of that condition and embracing who you are, and doing deafness uniquely how it is to you, not how someone else is doing it. But it was the biggest thing I've ever done in my life, because public speaking is something you know yourself, because if you've ever struggled with your speech, or you've had speech therapy, or talking, especially like to a live audience, for me it was fine. So I got accepted in January, and over a few months we had a lot of practice sessions to prepare us for the big event. But it was massive.
Wow. What you said was like really getting out of your comfort zone, because people get too comfortable, and once you get out of your comfort zone, there is so much opportunities, and it's a learning journey, and full of opportunity and full of inspiration, motivation. And I'm so proud of you that you got out of your comfort zone. So how was that Instagram Live? You told me you was nervous, but now you...
Yeah, I think it's because I use Instagram. I love it. You know, I use Instagram a lot more than TikTok. I don't really fully understand TikTok. But and I've got a community on Instagram that really makes me feel like I belong, especially, you know, like lots of people who've got cochlear implants, and we talk, but I've never gone live, and I've never, ever spoken on someone's live. So I think I've got that fear of pressing the wrong button. What am I doing? But you made it very simple, and you definitely pushed me out my comfort zone by asking me to come on here. And I'm glad I did, you know. I think I definitely will do more.
Yeah, I'm so glad that you say yes. And now you're learning, and you're supposed to be learning every single day, and it's helping you growing more. So I want to go back to, once you got, you must have felt nervous before the TED. Yes, you told me you felt nervous on the TED Talk, and you were so nervous. I forgot what I said. I give you some motivation. I can't remember what I said. But once you come off that TED Talk, how did you felt after the TED Talk?
I'm laughing now because I just remember it right. I was so nervous before. I literally was in my dressing room, just practicing. And when I did it, and my daughter was in the audience, and the TED Talk starts with me talking about when I was with my daughter and she was in labour. That's where I got the idea for the TED Talk from. And she never knew that I was going to be saying that. So she was like, you know, really surprised. When I did it, I think my talk was about 8-9 minutes. When I came off, the adrenaline, I've never experienced anything like it. It was such a rush. My heart was beating. I was kind of like, I can't believe I've done that. I'm so proud of myself, and I need to sit down. I was thinking, well, and when we came off, all the other speakers and everyone, they all kind of like were clapping and things like that. It's just, if you could bottle up that experience, it would start.
Wow. I remember when I did my first Instagram Live, I was just nervous. I was just sweating. And after that, I felt so good. I was really proud of myself that I just did it. And I know why I did it. And I really, I'm so glad that you did it. And can you give advice, like, for those people who feel like, who's nervous and scared just to do it? They're just in a comfort zone.
Yeah.
Can you give any advice on that?
Before I give that guys, I just want to say, you should be really proud of yourself, this platform that you're creating and what you have done. And I've been watching all the reels and it's just incredible. So you've gone from feeling nervous on that Instagram live and then posting this wonderful platform. So you should be really proud. So, I don't get any advice to anyone who's feeling nervous and think sometimes you're really nervous and scared to do something because you think you can't do it when actually you've never done it before. You've got all the skills. And I think when people are very nervous to do something, we start with that, what is this? I remember thinking, what if I get on that TEDx stage and I forget what I'm saying? What you've got to remember is the people in the audience or other people, they don't know that. They cannot read your mind. And I think being scared to do something, it's connected to identity. So I think when you're really petrified about doing something, you're overthinking it, it's really hard to try and ground yourself in the moment and explore those thoughts and feelings. Really important.
Yes, I believe in that. And, just go out there and do it. And even if you make a mistake, even you fail, it's better than regrets. Regrets is harmful. And once you have I wish I had done this, I wish I had done that.
Yeah.
And we all, I don't want to get too deep, but we all have an inspirational day. This earth, once you're on your deathbed and you looking back and wishing and regretting, you wish I'd done this, this is the time is to do it.
Absolutely.
This is the time to pursue the career, your aspiration, education, wherever that is, do it. It's okay if you embarrass yourself. It's okay if you fail. It's okay you make mistakes. You're a human being. You learn and you grow. That's all I got to say.
Own it. You're absolutely right. I think part of living unapologetically, it means owning your mistakes. If you trip up or you forget your words on stage, own it and you learn from it. Everything I've ever done, I remember when I first started teaching martial arts, I tried to be like the other instructors, but I soon developed my own style by not trying to be like other people. And I think that you've got to do it like you say, we only get one life. And do we want to spend it, thinking, I can't do that, or maybe I shouldn't do that. Get out there and do it. Learn as you go.
Yeah, this is the time and moment to do it. Before we wrap up, is there any projects, anything you working on you would like to let the audience know? Where people can follow you, where people can support you, anything?
Okay. So I've got a little podcast, which I'm really trying to grow. I've done it on YouTube, so the captions available and it's accessible.
So sorry. Just really charging my phone. My phone was on 4%. I don't want to die. But continue what you're saying. Go ahead.
Have you put the charger on?
Yeah, I put my charger on. It just fell. I'm on my laptop. Yeah. Go ahead.
Totally own it. So I've got the podcast. There's only about 4 or 5 episodes on there at the moment, but it's called Definitely Her. You can find it on YouTube. Her stands for Healing, Empowerment, and Resilience. And so I really, really would like to focus on that for the rest of the year. I'm launching my new, it's a coaching program that I've had for a while. I've done it before, but I've really kind of worked. It added a lot more identity work in there. So I'm going to be launching that in May. And I think that's it, really. I think I'm still on that journey myself, of discovering more things. I think I've only had my cochlear implant not that long, so I think I'm still kind of early on that journey as well. So, yeah, I just love meeting other people who have hearing loss or who are deaf and connecting, sharing real stories, empowering each other. So I love for people to reach out, message me, let's have a chat. So yeah.
Yeah, please do. Please do go follow her on Instagram. There's 3 dots. You could tap on it and go follow her. She has a coaching program. You can book a free 45 minutes. Is there any last message you want to let the audience know, or that was just it?
Well, first, thank you so much for inviting me to talk on your amazing channel. And I think any advice I have is just discover who you are, own it, live unapologetically, and be proud of you. Be proud of yourself. So yeah.
Thank you so much for coming to the show. And thank you for the audience for coming support our show. Just remember, no matter what challenges you're going through, you can thrive with a disability. Yeah. You know, Def and Kerry have shown us it's possible that we can thrive with a disability, no matter what challenges that you have. It is possible. Go out there and do it. Write your own story. This is your book. You are your own author.
Yeah, I love that.
Good night, everybody. Take care.